All right, the Arizona Cardinals
Yeah.
are secretly great. They had 2 walk-off wins,
Right.
close games against the Chargers and the Dolphins with field goals that won the game. And now the past 2 games, 29-9, shellacking of the Bears. And here come the Jets, feeling good about themselves. Al Michaels and Kirk Herbstreit, the Week 9 Thursday night game, we're talking about how Aaron Rodgers in the production meeting was talking everyone into how we can win this, we can win this, we can win this. And they beat the Texans, but they didn't even show up.
They barely
31-6.
showed up against the Texans.
Well, they showed up in the second half.
Yeah, right.
First half, it was horrible.
Right.
Second half, they turned it on. Yesterday was bad. Jeff Ulbrich, and we'll hear some sound from him coming up, but he basically acknowledged they weren't prepared. They had 3 extra days to get ready, and everything's in front of them. They get the win that ends the 5-game losing streak. That's what's inexcusable to me, and that's where the dysfunction that comes from the top of the organization really starts to, resonate and glow and flash.
Yeah.
You don't have that. If it's a properly functioning football organization, you don't fail to show up. You might lose, but you don't fail to show up when you've had a season-resurrecting primetime win, extra time to get ready. You at least show up for the game.
No, I agreed with that. This is bigger than, oh, we're just not playing good or any of that. This is a team that is starting to, I mean, not starting. It looks like they've lost belief and that it's coming to an end. And I think yesterday is the nail in the coffin. I do. See you later. Do I think that they can sit here and run the table or maybe only lose one more game the rest of the year? I mean, no way. They're going to lose multiple. They got issues everywhere, let alone like you're talking about. There's things that you can control on a football field. Hustle, physicality, tackling. The Jets stink at tackling. The firing of Robert Saleh was stupid. It was a bad decision. It definitely affected their football team, and they haven't looked the same since. I know it wasn't pretty early in the year, but they didn't look like some of the things you're talking about right now, where it's we didn't show up, we didn't prepare, we didn't play hard, we didn't tackle, whatever else. It's all
Every
going
week
downhill
it's something.
right
We
now.
didn't have energy. We lacked energy against the Steelers. How do you not have energy for a primetime game?
Right.
And we praised earlier the Chiefs and how they have a bunch of guys who love ball. I feel like the Jets have a bunch of guys who don't give a shit.
I'm not sure if it's a kind of a collection of like renegades who maybe trying to hang on to their career, boost their career some way, whatever. But the culture is not right. To your point,
not a true sense of team.
Yes,
it's
exactly.
It's a band of individuals who happen to wear the same uniform.
Exactly right. I'm Sauce Gardner. You're Garrett Wilson. I'm Devontae Adams. I'm Aaron Rodgers. Oh, that's C.J. Mosley. It's just, you're right. There's no togetherness with their football team right now, and they got dominated yesterday in Arizona.
Here's interim coach Jeff Ulbrich and quarterback Aaron Rodgers on the blowout loss in Arizona.
Overall, after a long layoff there, they were not prepared to play. We didn't execute even close to our standard, and that falls on my shoulders 100%. I didn't do a good enough job of getting these guys ready. I thought the physicality and the effort was fine. That was not the issue. It was execution, and then that was all 3 phases. So until we get that right, this thing will not turn.
Listen, it's been a lot of emotions this year for sure. I thought after a big win Thursday night, nice long week, we're going to come out with a lot of energy and win the game, and we just, we didn't come out with great energy on either side of the ball. And offensively, you're not going to beat anybody scoring 6 points.
Okay, the coach says the physicality and the effort were there, but the execution wasn't. Rodgers says the energy wasn't there. And it's easy for Jeff Ulbrich to take the blame. He goes back to being an assistant coach somewhere next year. It's not like he's going to be the permanent head coach of the Jets.
Right.
And I doubt that he's getting fired during the season. I wouldn't put anything past Woody Johnson, but to have an interim to the interim head coach would, I think, be unprecedented. I don't think there's ever been a time where an interim head coach, if we can check that, if there's even a way to research that, I don't think an interim coach has ever been fired and replaced with a second interim to the interim coach. But it's just a mess. And again, I'm a firm believer it starts at the top. The mad scientist who runs the show, who thinks I have a quick fix here and a quick fix there, they never should have brought in Aaron Rodgers. It created this. Now, from the standpoint of filling the stadium and generating interest, and everybody's talking about the Jets, hey, we're making money, but we're not winning football games. And last year was an aberration. It was a disaster. He gets injured week 1. But then he hovers over the team. I thought he undermined the team last year. We criticized him for that rightfully. Just go away,
Right.
get healthy, and come back next year.
Right.
Let the guys who are there try to turn this season into something. And it became all about Aaron Rodgers. And I don't know whether there's fatigue internally. No one's saying anything yet. This is going to be a great post-mortem. Who will talk on the record, who will talk off the record about Aaron Rodgers and how he treats the teammates. I'm sure the Mike Williams thing, calling him out publicly, no one's going to say anything about it now. But once it's done, maybe someone will. And I keep waiting for Rodgers to either directly say or leak, hey, what'd you expect me to do? They fired the coach 5 weeks in. Why'd they fire the coach? He was fine with it at the time. I have a feeling we'll find out he wasn't fine with it once this thing is officially or unofficially done, although it's kind of unofficially
It's
done.
kind of done. I mean, where's the silver lining? I mean, there's so many things to talk about that are so disappointing with them. I don't even know where to begin. I mean, again, it's hard to win football games in the NFL, not throwing the ball down the football field and everything is horizontal and everything like that. Like, I know some teams, maybe the Dolphins can get away with it, but they got like an all-star offense. They don't got that here. They don't. And there were still certain plays yesterday where I saw some replays where I go, I think he should have thrown the ball down the field and been more aggressive there.
Why does he not do
So-
it? Is it really completion percentage, touchdown
I
interception
really don't
ratio?
know.
Is it really
It's
that
just
he's
his
so
comfort
obsessed
level,
with that stat?
and he just thinks that, hey, I'm good enough and I'll make the right decision. I'm accurate enough that I'll just take the safe way out and we'll just work the ball down the field. And it's just they're not good enough that way systematically, and he's not good enough in that to be able to when that 2 or 3 plays every drive happen where, the play didn't go exactly as designed. You need to just buy some time or make something happen. He's not capable of getting them out of jail in those kind of scenarios anymore. And then the defense, I mean, they're not physical. They've been run on. You can see them get pushed around. Yesterday they did an okay job with that, but people were wide open everywhere in the pass game. And that was an issue. So, I mean, nothing works good. Whether it's run defense, the pass defense, they don't specifically game plan for teams on the defensive side of the ball. If I got to sit there again and watch Sauce Gardner guard some guy that I don't know, and on the other side's Marvin Harrison beating DJ Reed, or I look over and go, wait, Sauce Gardner's guarding the tight end here? Why? I mean, they just don't do enough on that side of the ball, and offensively, there's issues from every stretch of the imagination.
Once the Jets are done,
Yeah.
not mathematically, but
Right.
once we know it's over,
Yeah.
multiple choice. What does Aaron Rodgers do? 1, plays out the string no matter what, finishes the season no matter what, no
Right.
matter how bad it gets.
Right.
2, slips onto injured reserve and never is heard from again in New York. 3, finagles a release so he can try to latch on somewhere else for the stretch run.
No, I think it's 1. I think
He's going to stay no matter
He's
what.
going to stay no matter what, and he's going down with the ship here. I think that, listen, he's got so much negativity around him as it is already, whether it's how he's acted, what he talks to the media, the way people view him in the NFL, the play the last few years of his career. If he finds a way to quit and finagle his way out of this, I think that will do enough damage to his overall, that'll be a lasting image in our brain. We'll go, yeah, I understand it was the end of the career. I get it, and I know everything's not perfect, but he kind of quit on his football team after he was, making State of the Union addresses every other week for 2 years straight.
First of all, I don't think
Right.
anybody else would want him.
Right.
I think that's part of it.
That's the big part.
Right.
Of it. Yes.
I mean, contending team loses starting quarterback to
Yeah,
injury.
okay,
I would counsel that team to go next man up. You don't want to bring in Aaron Rodgers and try to jam square peg into round hole and make it all work and give him a chance to walk off into the sunset with a Super Bowl trophy, because it's not going to happen. It's just not there anymore. It's not there to the level that it was just a few years ago. To me, I think that we'll see him at some point with a legitimate injury that isn't worth playing through. That, hey, if we were contending, I'd keep going. I'd find a way through it. But I really can't. The hamstring, the knee, the ankle, the whatever. I'm 41 now, and I just can't do it. And I'd like to take some time to decide whether or not I want to play next year. And I'd like to be 100% if I do play next year. That's an easier sell.
Yeah.
Because you're not really quitting on the team because you're not playing for anyone else.
Right.
You're injured, you're regrouping, you're regathering, and what's the point for the rest of 2024? I think that's what's going to happen. At some point, he's just going to be gone. And this time he really will be gone, although he'll still do McAfee every Tuesday and find other ways to chirp. But I think he'll leave the Jets at some point and go on injured reserve.
Yeah, I mean, anything's up in the air here right now. But either way, this Jets experiment.
He's never been 3-7.
Yeah,
he's never
I'm
been
sure.
3-7.
Yeah, well, he's going to have a lot of never been this as we continue to go on if he's the starting quarterback. But ugly, and it's amazing how quickly they run out of answers on the offensive side of the ball. It's amazing how much work it is on the offensive side of the ball. Just horrible. And yeah, it's over for the Jets.
Hi, it's Mike Florio. Thanks for watching PFT on YouTube. Hit subscribe for the latest news and analysis from Pro Football Talk.